it has triggered. It's coming back in for the mid. The risk against this entire idea is the low of yesterday as a must hold in order for that to be successful. All right, that's it as far as what I'm over there. And what I was starting to talk about in the futures room before I was reminded that I was absent in the options room. How's it doing? Trading along yet? No, candlestick pattern. Oh, how is Joe doing? That's P. Will. I think we pretty well covered that, right, in the analysis of the coffee as I was looking at it. Answer, in case you've asked that since I was talking about it, answer to that is that it is indeed a setup that has not quite yet triggered. It's a long setup in coffee that needs breach of the top of that formation to actually trigger. And it has not quite actually triggered yet. But I'm still in it, still long. So got the same exact position that I showed you yesterday with 7 coffee contracts. Cocoa's still good? Yeah, I like cocoa still because it is a much higher time frame idea that I'm trying to get in on this dip in order to have an idea that I wish try to be in and stay in for, like, for instance, the time frame on this is like the duration of the year and possibly beyond. So this is that's a much higher time frame, longer term.
We decided early on to kind of really open the kimono.
This is a great place to learn and to become an independent trader on your own.
If we're doing a trade, we tell you why. If we're getting out, we tell you why.
They're just doing what they say they do. You know, they'll just help you be a better trader.
Putting our money where our mouth is, trading our own accounts, making our own decisions, and showing you what we're doing. Try the Options Gold Room for only $7.
And by the way, pretty soon, a couple weeks out, we'll have an idea, we'll have an opportunity actually to hear from the man behind the curtain there that is actually the one behind the research that has that higher time frame, longer duration weather analysis that leads to some of these ideas that we've been trading on, such as coffee originally from $1.15 or so before it ran up to in the 2.5s, and nat gas and wheat and corn and the meats and let's see, cocoa and orange juice and a number of others. So that'll be, I'll let you know more details on that when we get closer to it, but it'll be something that everybody will be invited to and have the opportunity to hear from the source, actually.
Trading, we show you how to trade with our own money.
You have to find real traders who are making real money and imitate them and learn from them.
If we go into a trade, we tell you why. And when we exit a trade, we explain it.
They're just doing what they say they do. You know, they'll just help you be a better trader.
We are so confident that you'll love our day trading room. We're offering a trial for $7. Check it out.
That's what I've got in mind. All right. So yesterday at 1 o'clock, the Fed, the S&Ps were trading at about the weekly open, about 43.078 something.
Trading community, trading with our own money, simple as that. If we enter or exit a trade, you'll know how and why we do it.
They're just doing what they say they do. You know, they'll just help you be a better trader.
While secrets are fun, keeping them doesn't help you learn how to trade.
This is a great place to learn and to become an independent trader on your own.
We're so confident you'll value your time here that we're offering a $7 trial. Go on, give it a shot.
42.50 or so. That's pretty wildly. what it did end up happening to kind of do was come into that little trend line thing that I told you that I was drawing across the
Trading community, trading with our own money, simple as that. If we enter or exit a trade, you'll know how and why we do it.
They're just doing what they say they do. You know, they'll just help you be a better trader.
While secrets are fun, keeping them doesn't help you learn how to trade.
This is a great place to learn and to become an independent trader on your own.
We're so confident you'll value your time here that we're offering a $7 trial. Go on, give it a shot.
See the forest and not miss the forest for looking at one tree that's like, I can't get my eyes off of one tree. And I mean, what I mean is, like, you heard me yesterday, I was like, all right, let me see if I can dial in a level here. And I said, okay, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna try to cross-reference it with this. And here I could dial it in by another, you know, couple of points. And it's like, I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, here's what's working. I mean, look at this IB chart. Everybody's got access to this IB chart. And this thing is really pretty darn phenomenal at giving us ideas, target objectives. In fact, I tell you what I will be willing to do if anybody wants me to. I'd be happy to do it. We'll pick one of those afternoon post-market segments, you know, you do from like 3:15 to 4 o'clock or whatever, and anybody wants to show up, we can sit and we dissect and go through the research associated with and how we come up with exactly this chart. Everybody's welcome to this chart. It's shared 100 times if it was ever shared once in both the options and the futures room. And exactly what these levels are, they're really just very simple math is all it is. Just a simple measured move objective outside of the first hour's range. I'd be happy to do that if anybody wants to do that. It would take about 30 minutes or something. Costs nothing but 30 minutes of your time for anybody who wants to show up, and we could do this. But here's what ultimately ends up happening. We get price that breaks down, finds this trend line, the upper, you know, the overhead trend line that was from last week's high tying into as recently as the day before's high, and extended would project out to about 42.50, which ends up being the IB extension down here, which ultimately trades and then phenomenally bounces absolutely in a crazy manner and trades all the way up to, and at the end of the day, it was trading up here at 63, the high yesterday, up at the IB extension at the top. Crazy enough. So let me be really clear for a second, in case anybody's wondering, wait a minute, are you telling me that you would have in mind before this all went down that it would trade down and find the bearish extension and then reverse and go all the way to the bullish? No. I wouldn't have in mind that it would first have traded all the way down to this extension and reversed and then hit a bullish target. We had bearish targets and we had bullish targets. It happened to hit both of them. But I'm not suggesting that I would have, before the event, have had in mind that it would have broken for the bearish reversed and then traded all the way to the bullish targets. I'm not. What I am suggesting is this chart identified both of those levels before it ever happened. And that would lead me to the next segment, which would be to come up with an objective for today. What would be the objective for today? Because that was a question that was asked a minute ago. It'd be like, Papa says, did I read Hackett's report yesterday? I did not, Papa, but I'll have to look into that. Okay, so what we know about this IB is that it almost never stays, almost literally never, almost never stays inside that range for the duration of like the entire session. You will find that to happen about 1 to 1.5 days out of 100, which is to say that you'd want to bet on the other, which would be 98.5% that it would not stay inside. And so given the fact that we know that it is prone to breach, then we would ask, okay, well then what would the targets be? And they're the extensions. So how often did you find historically that it would find these objectives that would be the first and second extensions? Historically, that was 67% back tested, 2,000 days at the first, and then 50% at the second. So a bullish target for today would be 4380, like 2 or 3, something like that. That's how I would come up with a target for bullish target for today, which is something that we just added into the plan for today, in front of the other target that we've got up here, which is the second extension, and which is also simultaneously, coincidentally, it happens to be the early pivot as well. All right. So let me go now and go out a little bit to, like, say 20 days or so worth of trade, and see if we can figure something out here. Like, what does it look like? I'll tell you what it looks like to me. I don't know what it's going to do, but I can tell you what it looks like to me. It looks to me like we've been now for the last close to 2 weeks in this balance zone down here that is that's balanced about 42, kind of 30